Nice. Welcome to my one viewer. Welcome to another Monday night chill stream, because yesterday, Sunday, which was a gorgeous day, we drove to Virginia. So it was a real easy day. It's gorgeous weather. First thing, phone rings early, like noon. And they said, pick up a piece going to Virginia. And I bounced. I was out of there. So I was home by like 10:30. You know what I mean? I normally when I walk up the stairs, I try to be super quiet because it's 4 a.m. But I'm like, oh wait, it's only 10:30. I can walk up the stairs like a normal person. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show. Tonight's show titled Prometheus Unbound. A lot of people probably know Prometheus stole fire. He stole a spark from the staff of Zeus, which Zeus would use to throw lightning. Prometheus stole a spark, and he brought that to humanity and gave them the gift of fire. And that way they could cook their food, and they wouldn't be cold at night, and the wild beasts of the world would not attack them as they slept. This, of course, made human beings very happy, and it made Zeus very pissed. It made the human beings happy because they had more control over their lives, and their lives improved. And Zeus was real fucking unhappy because the humans didn't need him as much. So, how does that relate to world events? Well, it relates in a lot of ways. There's a couple of things going on right now. Well, the stock market took a hit today, which is coming out of China again. There's this crazy Chinese real estate scheme that's been going on for a number of years, and a big publicly traded company called Evergrande is about to melt down or something like that in China. And that, I think a lot of people on Wall Street are afraid of what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. And everything's taking a hit. Everything's fallen, including Bitcoin down to, it was 41,000 before the show. I just checked. It's 42,000. I don't care, because for me, today was a fantastic day. I don't know why this happened, but they decided to do this. My insurance company decided to send me $1,078. I'm like, I don't know. That's like a refund for all the times I overpaid them for a minute. Whatever. I just got $1,000 worth of free Bitcoin. I deposited it online. As soon as the check clears, I'm going to smash up the buy button. And essentially, today I got $1,078 worth of free Bitcoin. So it's a good day. I didn't do much else today. I just cooked. I made stuffed peppers, and tomatoes and onions. So you do like one of each, actually two of each, which I only managed to eat half of. The problem when I do that is I cook way more than I could possibly eat, and then I eat until it hurts, and then I think, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I want to finish it, but whatever, I can't do that. So Prometheus eventually was forgiven by Zeus for stealing fire and giving it to human beings. It depends on how the myth goes. There's a bunch of different stories about it. But after about 3,000 years, Prometheus, Zeus said, "Okay, we're gonna give you a break. You've been punished enough, and I'll let you go. I will unchain you from this rock, and we will. You can go about your life doing whatever you were going to do before." Before I change you to a rock for eternity for pissing me off. Okay, so going in the world, we got to do a lot of screen shares. So we got to move through this quick, because the shorter I do these streams, the more views they get. So if I want to get like over 30 views, I just got to move it along. So let's do the screen share. There's was a bunch of cool stuff. What is that? That is not what I want at all. Share. Come on, share screen. Oh, I clicked the video file by accident. That's what I did. Always screwing up. Always forever the boomer, the eternal boomer. So, but I got the banner thing going that tells people to hit the like button. So what the fuck? I can't be that bad. It can't really be that bad that I've mastered this technology. Okay, so we have to go a little larger. This was I thought the best fun story. On September, was it 16th? The nation of Hungary, which a lot of people think Hungary is a very based country, they unveiled a statue of Satoshi Nakamoto. Since nobody knows what he looks like, the statue's face is a mirror, so you see yourself in the mirror. It's sort of a young guy with a hoodie, kind of a cypherpunk kind of look. And so I thought a lot of people really liked that. We thought that was pretty cool. But Bitcoin moving around, changing things around the world, whether you see it or you don't see it. So let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on. A lot of people know that El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as its a co-currency to the U.S. dollar, and the government of El Salvador encouraged every citizen to download a Bitcoin wallet. They had their own specific one. They called it Chivo or Chivo, and in that was $30 US dollars worth of Bitcoin. And as per usual, there's no way this is going to happen without the CIA getting involved. So this story is from, what day was this from? September 15th. So just recently. So protesters in El Salvador burned a Bitcoin ATM. Now, you could say the El Salvadorans aren't that smart, but I would say really it's the CIA that's not that smart. Burning an ATM machine that sends you Bitcoin is just burning a machine, right? There's no Bitcoin inside the machine. Bitcoin is on the internet. It's native to the internet. It's everywhere and it's nowhere all at the same time. So when you burn a Bitcoin ATM, all you're burning is the US dollars inside that ATM. You're actually burning fiat. You think I don't know if they thought they were burning Bitcoin, but hilariously, they were in fact burning USD. They were burning fiat, which was pretty funny. But listen, this is the opposition party in El Salvador doing, I don't know what they think they're doing. This is like some kind of analog protest. This is like a 1960s Central America United Fruit Company thing. Like, like this is also like so 20th century. Oh, we're going to burn you in effigy. We're going to make a paper mache George Bush and put it on a string and then burn it or something to show how unhappy we are, because that people are going to be so outraged that we're doing this. So they're trying to take that level of retarded fucking political stunt and use it in the 21st century, and it just comes off as stupid. It just comes off as really, really, really dumb. So, once again, the CIA overpaid and underworked, screwing things up. One protest at a time. Let's make this bigger. That's going to need to be bigger. But the way things work these days is with memes, right? It's all mimetic warfare. It's all quick, messages and to get your point across, and hopefully it sticks in people's heads. And I've said it before, these memes get recycled, they get reused a bunch of different ways. And this one was real common for a while, that was being pushed by the so-called alt-right. But so it's a picture of like a World War II propeller-driven bomber, right? An old, I don't know, whatever, B-17 or B-28 or whatever it was, B-26, whatever the fuck it was. And this is again from, this is from Bitcoin Tina. Something you never hear, which is, I'm afraid that governments are going to ban Ethereum. Bitcoin, it's over the target. So, how do you know that you are over the target? Well, everyone's gunning for you. So if there are protests about Bitcoin and there's no protest about anything else, there's no protest about Ethereum or Cardano or Solana or which, by the way, crashed this week. Apparently Solana crashed for about 17 hours during the week right after. So they pumped it on the date that El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as its legal currency, right? The Bitcoin dumped, of course, 10%, and Solana pumped 10%, and that manipulation had its intended effect. Everybody thought Solana was great, and they probably tried to pour a ton of money into Solana. However, whatever the fuck Solana is, ended up crashing. So it crashed for about 17 hours, and nobody could get their money in or out or find out how much money they had or whatever. The whole fucking thing, the whole house of cards collapsed, which is pretty funny because the people that design these exit scams, it's an exit scam. You know what I mean? It's entirely an exit scam. Every single one of these things is an exit scam, except for Bitcoin, and you have to understand that. And you're going to get rugged. They're going to put it in front of you at the right place, the right way, the right time. It's going to convince you to send your hard-earned money to a bunch of scammers somewhere, to a bunch of smart guys, ex-Wall Street guys or whatever, and you're going to get rugged. Don't do that. There's only one digital asset. It's Bitcoin, and everything else is garbage. Like that meme said, no one is worried that a government is going to ban Ethereum, or no one's afraid that, the government's going to ban whatever. Like I said, Solana, Cardano, Monero, whatever, No one's afraid they're going to ban that. They're only afraid they're going to ban Bitcoin. So it you can learn from not only what they're against, but what they're not against. So there's, and I kind of mentioned this last week. If you're in the world of music, there's the notes and then there's a space in between the notes, right? The notes are important. You got to hit whatever that flat A and the D minor and the blah 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 blah. But the space in between the notes, the timing of when you do it. It really creates the music, right? It's not just the notes; it's the silence in between. So when you're looking at a story like this, the government's going to ban Bitcoin. Okay, but why don't they want to ban anything else? Because nothing else is really a threat to them. So let's talk about our buddies. Which one am I going to pick? This one? Yeah, okay. This is the best one because this fits with the title of the show. When Prometheus was chained to the rock, as far as they know, he was chained to the rock in the Caucasus Mountains, which are in southern Russia and Ukraine. And guess what, kids? This week, Ukraine is the latest country to legalize Bitcoin as the cryptocurrency slowly goes global. So Ukrainian politicians who openly brag that they own, some of them own thousands and more than 10,000 Bitcoins, have finally legally allowed anyone in the Ukraine to own Bitcoin and other cryptos. Again, all the other cryptos are garbage, but Bitcoin is what you should be buying and holding while you still can. Now, why does this matter? Because Prometheus is about to become unbound for real. Where's the other story? My other Ukraine story. Let's go with this. So this comes from the NASDAQ website. All right. And there is a leitmotif, as they would say. There's a bit of a leitmotif here. And let's see if you can guess what it is, right? Ukraine's blueprint to Bitcoin adoption. This was September 13th of this week. So can you see it or can you not see it? It's kind of obvious, but if you're young and you're not a boomer, you might not know. So here it is. I'm going to get rid of that one. And I will read to you some stuff. Here we go. That looks nice, really nice. And large, easy to read for your aging boomer eyeballs. From the same article, right? Show up. Come on. Ukraine's strategic path to Bitcoin adoption would likely include nuclear-powered mining and holding Bitcoin as a state reserve asset. That means the Ukraine is going to do what El Salvador is doing, right? They're going to hold Bitcoin as a reserve asset, not US dollars, not US bonds, and they're going to mine Bitcoin using nuclear power. So if you don't think that is the spark of fire that's going to change things, Prometheus was chained to the rock in southern Russia, right, in the Ukraine, and now he's free. And the Ukraine, caught between Russia and the United States, trying to adopt Western ways, trying to to live with the dollar, and they've been robbed. They've been ripped off. Their politicians have ripped them off for literally billions and tens of billions of dollars. They've been robbed. Their banks got robbed. There were two thieves. One was the head of a bank. One was a politician. They stole $640 million, $500 million from the Ukrainian state bank. And, where did the bank robbers run after they stole the money? Well, right to Miami, Florida. So you can understand why the Ukraine would be very, very interested in a currency that cannot be stolen and uh, is not linked to the U.S. dollar and not linked to corrupt politicians are going to have a really, really, really hard time stealing this. So, do you understand now why they're sitting around going, "Hey, Bitcoin mining, okay, we got a lot of electricity. We got 4 nuclear power plants. We got all this extra electricity. We ain't doing nothing with. Let's plug these computers in and let's make this new stuff that nobody can steal and nobody can take away from us." So this is this slow adoption. The media telling you, "Oh yes, slowly." Bitcoin's being adopted. It's being adopted as fast as it can be in this world by as many governments who are smart enough to understand what it is. El Salvador and the Ukraine are two. Also, the nation of Laos, which is ordered by Vietnam. Apparently, Laos has a ton of hydroelectric power that they're just doing nothing with. They got a jungle. They got all this water flowing through the jungle. They're making electricity with it, and nobody in Laos is doing anything. So Laos is going to start mining Bitcoin using hydro. Tiny little sliver of a country which is next to Vietnam, which has outlawed Bitcoin, by the way. So and they're adopting. They're at least looking at Bitcoin as a money making opportunity. Said all this stuff is in the works. All this stuff is what you're not see, what they aren't showing you on the news. They're not telling you. It's all scare stories. It's all bullshit. It's all this. Meanwhile, quietly around the world, from El Salvador to Laos to Ukraine, governments are adopting Bitcoin. Okay, they're moving towards mining Bitcoin themselves and holding Bitcoin themselves. If foreign governments are doing this, maybe you might think this is a moderately good idea, especially when these governments are as varied as El Salvador, Ukraine, and Laos. That might, put a little fucking light bulb over your fucking head. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, whatever. Have fun staying poor. But, okay, what else? Let's talk about, this was also a good one. This was my favorite one. This is maybe the best piece of news that I've seen in a while. And I am happy to see it because Bitcoin does have real enemies. And this one is a good enemy. And I will love to see these motherfuckers go down. Nothing will make me happier than to see this nation state get destroyed. So what's coming up on the screen? We had 3 viewers, now down to 2. Oh well. The ratings are falling. I'm not as interesting as I think I am. Here we are. We are in a war against Bitcoin, says Turkey's President Erdogan. So in Turkey, where they've got inflation is running through the roof, the Turkish lira is plummeting in value. Okay, and searches for Bitcoin in Turkish on Google have skyrocketed over the last year, and now the Turkish government is going to try to stop the Turkish people from holding Bitcoin. Yeah, good luck with that. I guarantee you're going to lose that fucking war. Guaranteed. The more you tell people not to own Bitcoin, the more you try to stop them from having Bitcoin, the more they're going to want it. Particularly in Turkey, where everybody knows how. Look who's here. Somebody I need to ban. Adios. We got Donald Robinson. There we go. Okay, so I just got rid of Donald Robinson. How he found this channel, I don't know, but it's really annoying that he's here because that rat fuck is going to guaranteed he's gonna report this channel for hate speech. 100% he's gonna report this channel for hate speech. So this could probably be like the last stream on this channel. We're gonna go to another channel after this. Oh fucking well. But like they say, the dog barks, but the caravan moves on. So Erdogan wants to ban Bitcoin. Good luck with that, sonny boy. Good luck with that. But all right, where are we? The thing about Bitcoin is really it's not as in some ways, it's not as new as you might think it is. Okay. A lot of people on this that I've spoken to over the years are considered somewhat, uh, somewhat against the Semitic agenda. There was a famous American who wrote a book called The International Jews. His name was Henry Ford. Here's something about Henry Ford you probably didn't know. And this might surprise you just a little bit. Henry Ford would replace gold with an energy currency and stop wars. So, and this was true. This is from, I'm not sure. I think might have been the New York Times in Sunday, December something. I don't know what year it was, but it was probably after World War I and before World War II. So Henry Ford declares if the government will give him Muscle Shoals, which is a power plant in Louisiana, he can demonstrate success of a plan to substitute natural wealth as the basis for the world's money. This was a story on December 3rd. Again, I'm not sure what year, but Henry Ford had a plan. Hey, Virgil Doc, welcome to the show. Henry Ford had a plan to replace gold with an energy-based currency, right? And replace the world's money. Now, Henry Ford famously took his company public, right? And made $1 gazillion. And I wonder really what the timing of this was. I just grabbed a screenshot. I don't know when this story was, but I suspect that Henry Ford and the people who were afraid that Henry Ford would succeed, that the government would give him the ability to take over a power plant and create some sort of money based on electricity, what is Bitcoin? It's money based on electricity, right? So Henry Ford was maybe working on a very crude, not so well thought out version of Bitcoin 100 years ago, So this idea that something will replace gold or something will replace the world's reserve currency is a little bit older than you think. And the people who promote it are the sort of people that you would be in line to agree with. Now, like I said, Henry Ford, Wall Street took his company public and made him richer than rich. So if you pose a realistic threat to the current global financial order, you know what I mean? They can do two things. They can kill you or they can co-opt you. Did Henry Ford get co-opted? I don't know. Like I said, the exact date that this story was written, I am not clear, but you can Google it. Henry Ford would replace gold with an energy currency and stop wars. Wow. How different would the world have been in the last 85 years if that had been done? How different indeed. But Henry Ford was likely co-opted by Wall Street. And we know that Wall Street is the money behind a whole lot of bad stuff. So very, very interesting, right? Henry Ford might have done 80 or 90 years ago what Bitcoin is doing today, had he gotten the chance. But he decided, for whatever reason, not to. And I thought that was super, super interesting. But Henry Ford, an anti-Semite, and some would probably say a white supremacist, which we got to talk about. I got to have a drink now. What is this, like 32 minutes? There's no way. I can't go this long without alcohol. But joking. Let's welcome, by the way, this week. You got to remember, we're not even 1 year into the Biden administration. It's like not even one fucking year. You know what I mean? We're only 9 months into it. And there's a rapper woman named Nicki Minaj who has 147 million followers on Instagram. 147 million followers on Instagram. And apparently she has a male cousin who got the COVID vaccine, and apparently his testicles had swollen up and he had to be hospitalized. And this was like a week before his wedding. And so the wedding was called off or whatever. And Nicki Minaj was pissed off and she was tweeting about this, right? And you would think, okay, that's a relatively funny story. And all she said was, listen, you got to question what goes into your body. Don't just take this vax. Question what goes into your body. And literally the world had bent, around Mrs. Minaj's finger now, because the White House, Jen Psaki, stopped in her daily briefing to address that the White House had reached out to the Nicki Minaj camp and wanted to, was willing to dialogue with her about the safety and efficacy of the vax. And I was like, well, I guess we have to send Nicki Minaj like a welcome basket, for a white supremacy welcome basket. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure, like we could include some stuff in there like this. Here's one of the things I think we could put, as we say to Mrs. Minaj, welcome to white supremacy. Welcome to being a right-wing extremist, Miss Minaj. We could send her a basket, including something like this. How about in the welcome basket, the gift basket that we're going to send to Miss Minaj, we could include some very rare Pepes, some extremely rare Pepes. This is quite seasonal. This is Pepe taking a walk amongst the autumn leaves. He's out getting, he's out in the fresh air. He's in a nice neighborhood. I'm sure Mrs. Minaj, with her mega bucks from her rap career, lives in a very nice neighborhood. So I'm sure she could relate to this. We could send a bottle of Hennessy. You know what I mean? Black people like Hennessy cognac, as well as maybe some grape flavored blunts or a pack of Black and Milds or something like that. Some kind of thing. But anyway, welcoming, I for one, we'll extend my hand and friendship to welcome Mrs. Minaj to the world of white supremacy. It's good that we have her here, and there's something. And really, when I tell you that Mrs. Minaj is probably one of us, I'm not kidding, because Miss Minaj has for some time, I think, had some leanings to imply that she is one of us. Here's a photo from one of our videos a few years back. This is, I call this Nicki Minaj 2A, meaning 2 AR-15s. Now, I don't know if that's what Miss Minaj thinks that 2A means. Maybe she thinks it means 2 AR-15s. But, looks like she's someone who's a little more in line with our way of thinking than you might imagine. And remember, the White House is now stopping its press briefings to address a black rapper woman who's had her ass artificially enlarged with these insane body modifications. They're literally stopping the press briefing to address the fact that she's not quite 100% sold on this vax. Now, of course, the post office, not a lot. They don't have. They're exempt from the vaccine requirements because a lot of black people work for the post office. The guy I know who does a Sports Ball podcast, the NBA, you might not know this, but all the NBA teams, all the players, exempt from COVID vaccinations. Now, how do you play in New York? How do you play in Madison Square Garden? How did the Knicks play? If everybody, you can't be indoors unvaxxed without a vax card, but how did the Knicks play in Madison Square Garden, right? When none of them are vaxxed and they're not getting vaxxed. Like, how does that work? And how do they travel to other cities where there are vax requirements? This thing is turning into the shit show of fucking shit shows. And again, I want to remind you, we're only 9 months into this thing. We're like nine and a half months into this. There's another 3 fucking years, at least 3 years to go by the time we get to the end of the Biden administration. And at 3 years from now, things are going to be so crazy that looking at Nicki Minaj as a white supremacist is going to seem like the most sane thing perhaps you could think or imagine. And I got to tell you, it's going to be a really, really long fucking 3 years. So that's going to be, it's going to be crazy fun if you have the right attitude. If you understand that Henry Ford was trying to do some type of energy-based currency in the 1920s or 30s, about 90 years ago, before Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin may be the final step in a number of steps and a number of attempts to reshuffle the world economic order, except this one's successful. There's no one to be co-opted. There's no one to be killed. You can't sink the Titanic full of people who are against the central bank, right? There's none of that. No unfortunate coincidences. No buying out somebody, So because there is nobody. There is who is Satoshi Nakamoto? Who is he, right? Just some statue in Hungary, right? That looks just exactly like you. Where is it? Let's put him up there. Hey, come on. Oh, there we go. I send myself so many emails. I got to walk through all this stuff. The anonymity of this, of whomever this person is or was, is a strength that I think a lot of people overlook. You can't shoot him. You can't bribe him. You can't discredit him because nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows. And this statue that they put up in Budapest, the mirrored face is so everyone literally is Satoshi. So this is, like I said, this sort of decentralized system is something that they don't have an answer for, and so this is what's going to destroy them. This is absolutely 100% is what's going to destroy them. And when you might see that, or you might choose not to see that, but I don't, I'm not going to waste a tremendous amount of time trying to convince people. I'll show you some stuff along the way, and you can agree or disagree. But you need to understand that, like I said, there's things happening in the background, whether you see it or you don't see it. And when you, especially after you pass by something, you look back at it again, it becomes super obvious that shit is that things are not as they appear, right? So, what's this one? Here's something that made me think of what I'm talking about. This is I don't know. I'm not even sure who this person is. I just started following them on Twitter, but of viral videos that go around, and obviously I'm on Twitter as a platform. But Instagram is I guess pretty big. If Nicki Minaj has got 147 million followers, the way to get something to go viral for everyone to see it. So this is a screenshot. You see a blonde woman at the bottom there, and she's a pretty blonde woman in a car, and she says, when I go to the gas station, I just want to get my gas and my pumpkin seeds, and I don't want you to try and pick me up. This is not Christian mingle, she says, and I don't need dudes coming up to me, this and that. And she says the words Christian mingle 2 or 3 times in this 1-minute video. And there's a dating website called Christian Mingle, right? So, and she's a very pretty girl. I didn't show her face, but the guy who posted this, people are outraged, posting like, who is this bitch? Blah, 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 blah. Who does she think she is? Like, why can't you talk to a woman that you see at a gas station or whatever? And finally, this guy realized that, what? It's all a marketing ploy, right? The guy tweets, okay, it took me a while, but it came to me the very high probability that this video is paid content. effective viral marketing for the dating site she mentions twice, with the second mention as the stinger to close the video. And the ability to look at things and to understand that what you're looking at is not sincere. What you're looking at is designed to create an impression in your mind, designed to make you think something is true when it's not true. And you completely missed the point. You missed the point that, listen, the dating site they want a pretty blonde girl as their face of Christian dating and whatever. That's what they got. So, and it made me think of some other things that at the time you probably saw and believed, or you had certain feelings or thoughts about. And I was going to look for this, but thank God Ramsey Paul, the super boomer, and this is one of his favorite things to post, and it like literally fell out of the internet right into my hands. And what is it? The most notorious picture of all the pictures. Trad Dad. How you doing, Trad Dad? The most notorious picture of all the pictures from Charlottesville in 2017, right? It's the dude with the Nazi flag, right? He's a Nazi. He's a white guy. He's a Nazi dude, and he's got the flag over his shoulder. And that's the famous flag. And I don't know how well you can see it, but I've got a slightly better cropped version of that. Okay. But that photo went around a lot of different places, right? And there's the cropped version. Okay. There's the flag. Okay. All the folds, the perfectly square folds in that flag, right? Every fold in that flag is crisp because it was just taken out of its packaging that morning and stapled to that stick that morning. And that dude, who, by the way, never got doxxed, right? This photo went around Twitter. It went around the internet. It probably went around 100 fucking websites. And nobody knows, nobody knows who the fuck that guy is. Nobody ever found out who that guy was, right? He was never, ever found. Even though you can see his face, right? In this picture, really, you could see his face as soon as it pops up, right? There's the dude with the glasses, whatever, right? He's not, it's not impossible to but nobody ever recognized him. Nobody ever found out. See, walking around in broad daylight, but you can't fucking find him. Nobody, Antifa never found him. The ADL never found him. None of these organizations and groups, law enforcement never found him, right? Nazis fucking everywhere. Nobody ever found this guy, right? What a lucky guy. What a really an incredibly lucky guy. Well, he's not the only one. He's not the only one, really, like I've pointed out on a number of occasions, people who are relative nobodies have gotten doxxed, right? Norvin Hobbs got doxxed. There were, anybody that went to January 6th thing, FBI's kicking in their SWAT teams are kicking in their doors at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. This is kind of a famous screenshot, right? That's Richard Spencer at Heilgate. Okay. I got this from typing Heilgate into the YouTube search engine. And the first result you get is from the Atlantic Magazine website. And the Atlantic Magazine video, it's about 3 minutes and 5 seconds long, has had 3.2 million views. And here you can see Two guys, I made the red lines. Two guys after Richard Spencer says, "Hail our people," they're throwing up Roman salutes. Right? These guys were never identified. That's kind of amazing, right? Really amazing. That video has been viewed 3.2 million times, but nobody knows who those dudes are, right? Nobody knows who those guys are. They're at this public event. They're throwing up Roman salutes. Here's another one. This guy was the guy that was, if you ever watch the video, there's a guy that runs forward. He's running past an entire crowd. He runs from the right side of the screen to the left side of the screen, doing his fucking Roman salute. And I made another line. If you look at where the guy's elbow is, there's another dude underneath there who's like looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, how bizarre is this? He notices that this behavior is extremely weird fucking behavior. Like, nobody does this. Nobody does this. But no, this guy's going to run right in front of the camera. He's a short, dark-haired dude. And he's good, like charging forward, you know, when he hears the phrase, "Hail our people." He runs forward. And you can watch this video. Again, the whole video is only 3 minutes and 5 seconds. And this is like in the first 5 seconds of the video. I didn't even bother going that deep in the video. But where's the other one? Here's another one. This is another. This one was another fucking genius one, right? This is like. And the thing about this, like I said, you know, you're presented with this, and it forms an impression in your mind. It's not a reality-based impression. This is three different guys, right? The third line or the line on the far right is someone else. Someone else is on. There's three dudes. Like, there's just rooms full of guys, right? Dudes with fucking, you know, white guys that are like 30s, 40s, you know, well dressed, right? They're not bums. They're not trailer trash. They're not, you know. And they're all just, they cannot fucking wait. They cannot fucking wait to throw up a Roman salute. And you believed that this was true. When you saw it, people went, "Oh my God, oh Jesus fuck," not realizing that it's as fake as that Christian dating video, right? It's as fake as the dude with the fucking Nazi flag that still has the folds in it. It's fucking 100% a setup. Now, you don't want to admit it's a setup because then you have to admit that you got fooled. You know, and you don't. That's embarrassing, and you don't want to do that. You know, you want to think yourself as smarter than that. But no one has ever found out who these guys are. And by the way, like I said, this video has been viewed 3.2 million times. When you look at the video, all these faces are blurred, which is amazing, right? So somebody actually edited this video. The Atlantic edited this video that's been viewed 3.2 million fucking times to make sure you don't see none of these guys' faces. Isn't that strange? Don't you think Antifa or somebody would be really fucking interested in finding out who the fuck these guys are? But no, they never been found. No one ever fucking looked for them, right? They found some 18-year-old kid from California who went to Charlottesville. They found Norvin Hobbs who never, you know, what was the biggest thing Norvin ever did? He went on the fucking Luke Ford show, you know, a YouTube channel with 700 subscribers. But they found him. They found out where he lived, right? These motherfuckers, invisible. Fucking invisible. And you don't question why that is, right? You just don't question why that is. And you need to question why that is. How does fucking nobody notice this? How does nobody find these guys? How come no one found those guys? And this one, I showed this one earlier, but this guy either they showed him twice in the video or he threw up the fucking Roman salute 2 times in fucking 10 seconds. And listen to me, I've interacted with people in and around Washington, D.C. a little bit, and nobody does this. Nobody fucking does this. Nobody behaves this way any fucking where. It is entirely, completely a fucking setup. It is 100% a setup. And if you don't fucking think Richard Spencer is fucking in on it, you're a fucking idiot. And I mean, you're a fucking idiot. You don't see that this cocksucker's a Fed, and none of these people have been fucking found out. None of them. Not one of them. Millions of views on YouTube. Their faces are all fucking blurred out, right? It's all there for the fucking outrage. It's all there to create a complete false impression, and you fucking fell for it. Well, a lot of people fell for it. There's no shame in that, okay? You don't have to be ashamed of that, but you got to come to your senses now and go, hey, wait a minute. This shit doesn't even come close to fucking adding up. It doesn't even come close to adding up. Nobody found these fucking guys. None of them. All of these dudes, just random fucking dudes, what? They're fucking married or whatever. This is my favorite one, Mr. fucking running forward. And the dude, look, this other guy in the suit, he's like, what the fuck is going on? Like literally, what's going on? He notices this fucking whack job running forward. Can you not see how fucking obvious it is now? Do you fail to see that this is such a fucking shitty, this is bad federal theater. This is bad federal theater. Can you not, do you fail to see that? And I know it's entirely possible that you can fail to see that. That you can look at this and go, oh no, it's 100% legit. You can be that dumb. I don't know how you can be that dumb, but wait a minute, I just showed that one. I want to see the other one. But it's possible. It's 100%. It's 100% possible that you can look at this and get it wrong every single fucking time. Why were none of these guys? All their faces are blurred out. You don't know who they are. You know why? Because they're all sitting behind their desks in Quantico, Virginia, at the fucking FBI Counterterrorism Task Force. And if you think this whole thing was a setup, it's all a puppet show, and you fell for it, you should stop falling for this shit. Literally believe none of what you see and only half of what you hear. Right? We're at 56 minutes. That's not bad. I should start wrapping this up because the shorter the episodes, the better it all is. The more whatchamacallit we get. So the more views I get. All right, so let's just go back to this one. This is probably the best of all the news that there is about Bitcoin and what's changing in world economic affairs. This is maybe the biggest one. That the Ukraine, the former site of the Holodomor, right? A nation that in the 1920s grew enough food to feed itself, but the communists came in, stole everything, and to the point where they cannibalized their own children. That happened in the Ukraine within the last 100 years. Do you think this country, and like I said, if you look at just you type in like Ukraine bank robbery, Ukraine bank funds stolen, they've had billions, 30, 40, 50 billion dollars stolen from their banks, their national banks. They are being victimized constantly. So when something like Bitcoin comes along that you can't fucking steal, do you think they'd maybe jump on it? Do you think they might jump on it? And this is from the NASDAQ website talking about Ukraine's strategic path to Bitcoin adoption would likely include nuclear-powered mining and holding Bitcoin as a reserve asset, which means competition for the US dollar. It's not just El Salvador. Okay, it's not just crazy people like me with their, talking about Bitcoin. It's nation states. Okay, you can sort of see that it's possible. I don't know for who I'm talking to. It's possible you could see how important this is, or it's possible you could fucking miss it entirely. Right? I know it's possible for you to miss it entirely. It is completely possible that you don't fucking get it. Here's the thing about people like me, toxic Bitcoin maximalists, right? Here's what I understand that you don't understand. Bitcoin will replace the US dollar worldwide. Bitcoin will peacefully and legally destroy the Federal Reserve Corporation of America. Okay? That's absolutely going to happen. Is it going to happen tomorrow or next week? No, it's going to take a little longer. But it's 100% going to happen. And you say, well, I don't know, understand Bitcoin. I don't trust it. I don't give a shit what the fuck your excuses are. Fuck you and fuck your excuses. I don't give a shit. Here's what I know that you don't know. You will fucking buy Bitcoin, but you won't buy Bitcoin where it is now, like $42,000, $43,000, whatever the fuck it is now. You'll buy it at 400,000 or 4 million. I don't know when you'll do it, but you will do it. You will bend the fucking knee. I guarantee you will. I fucking guarantee it. Because those shitty green Zog bucks that are sitting in your wallet or in your checking account are going to become worthless. Okay. What I try to suggest to people is now, while you still can, while things are still favorable to you, make the switch. That's what I'm suggesting now. But you can be obstinate. You can be willfully ignorant. You can come up with your fucking bullshit list of excuses, blah, 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 whatever. And I don't care. I don't give a flying fuck. You will come around to this worldview either gently or harshly, but you will come around to this worldview, and the entire planet will as well. The Ukraine is not using its nuclear power to mine Bitcoin, just so they can snort fucking cocaine out of a supermodel's ass crack. They can do that all day long in the fucking Ukraine. They don't need Bitcoin for that. You know what I mean? They're not doing it for a new Lambo. You know what I mean? They steal enough money from their own people for a fucking fleet of Lambos. There's a much, 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 much bigger thing happening here. This is what Henry Ford tried to do. This is what others have probably tried to do in the past. All of whom have failed. They failed or co-opted or the ship sank or whatever happened. But this is going to happen because it's the right technology at the right time, and it's fucking unstoppable. It is absolutely unfucking stoppable. You can, like I said, you can get on board, or you can watch the train whiz past you. You know what I mean? But it's this is coming. This is going to change the entire world and change things in ways you cannot currently imagine. So, and when I bust people's balls about fucking, all the stupid shit you think that's like, everybody thinks like things are going to change. Like everything's going to change. We're going to elect Trump, DeSantis, whoever the fuck you think, right? But everything's going to change. Wall Street's going to be good boys all of a sudden. Black people are going to stop breaking the law. Mexicans are going to stop crossing the border. Like all this is going to happen, right? The big corporations like Amazon and fucking Walmart, they're going to stop crushing small businesses, right? McDonald's is going to stop taking out small restaurants. All that's going to stop magically because we elected somebody, and everything's going to change, but we're still going to have the exact same money. No, that's not how it's going to work. That's not how it's going to work. It's not going to be your fantasy future, but with Zog bucks. That's not how it's going to work. The future is going to be very different than what you think. Different from what you fear and different from what you want. But it's going to be different in both ways. And it sure as fuck is not going to include Zog bucks. Zog bucks are going to be like the money from the Civil War that the South had in the Civil War, right? From the you know what I mean? Like little kids in the South used to have $1 million of Confederate money. And it's just worthless paper. That was kids used to have that. You had like the U.S. dollar is going to be like what the Confederate dollar was, and that's definitely coming. You know what I mean? It's not El Salvador, Ukraine, Laos, There's other countries. They're all quietly moving. The smarter ones, the faster they move, the quicker they adopt this, the quicker they can get this legalized, the more separation they can put between their currency and the US dollar, the better it is. There may still be paper money. I'm not saying paper money is going to vanish entirely, but it's going to be backed up by Bitcoin, not by gold. You understand? The nation of Ukraine is going to have however many Bitcoin, I don't know. And then they're going to issue currency that's backed up by Bitcoin. You'll be able to take that paper money and hand it into a bank, and they'll put Bitcoin on your phone or something like that. That's what it's going to look like if you choose to do that. But as long as the fucking government doesn't fuck up, the paper money will still be used, at least for a while, because it'll be backed up not by government promises, not by gold, but by Bitcoin. That's what's going to happen. How fast is it going to happen? I don't know. But the Ukraine mining Bitcoin with nuclear power is like the fucking best news maybe of this year. Other than the fact that again, that Geico decided to send me $1,000 for free. Which what am I gonna do? I just found $1,000 in the fucking street. What am I gonna do with it? Right? You know exactly what I'm gonna. As soon as that check clears, bing, smash up that buy button. Buy. So, and that's what you should be doing. If somebody's dumb enough to send you money, just like sell everything you don't need, stop buying shit you don't need, and begin to shift your wealth away from Zog bucks, which are becoming worth less and less and less and less and less, and start looking towards the future, because they're not closing the southern border. But if President DeSantis gets elected in 2024 and he closes the southern border, how many people are going to cross? There was a video of some dude with a fucking beard down in some airport in Texas. Everybody was there, like families. He said everybody's got a red envelope, a green envelope, or a brown envelope. And in the brown envelopes, plane tickets. And they go into the government is giving them plane tickets and money to go to all different cities all around the United States. This is not going to stop. This is not going to stop, and no one's going to stop it. Okay. The way it stops is the money gets shut off. And as long as you're using their money, you're helping them out. So just stop using their money as much as you can, step by step, bit by bit, little by little, separate yourself from that. Okay. And get something that they can't confiscate. Get a house, they can confiscate that. Got land, they can confiscate that. You got tools or whatever, they can confiscate that. Your bank account, they can confiscate that. I'm suggesting to you that if you want to avoid the worst of clown world and global homo, that you begin to use an alternative system of value. Hey, how did you come back? Texas Feral Hog is back. I just put block user. How did he come back? I thought if you block user, an error occurred. No error occurred. Now I can't block him. Oh, that's interesting. Let's try it one more time. Put user in timeout. I'll try that. Can that be done? Well, that was done. They say hide user bounces people. Anyway, where are we at? Oh, blah, 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 blah. What did I do today? Like I said, I didn't do too much. It's gorgeous weather, but I didn't go anywhere. I didn't spend any money. That's it. November 3rd. This is okay. Oh, everybody knows OV, right? OV, fuck you. He sent me an email, or whoever runs his account sent me an email, which was a link on BitChute to that. Supposedly it was a mosque massacre video. Do you remember, like in I don't know if it's around the time, it was around like 2016, where somebody in New Zealand supposedly took an AR-15 into a mosque and shot up a bunch of people, shot and killed 20 or 30 people. I never saw the video. I was curious about it at the time, but I've sort of forgotten about it since. So just out of the blue, OV sends me this fucking link, and I click on it, and it's got one of those stupid German name, fucking Gosh, whatever the fuck he names shit on his fucking channel. So he's got a BitChute channel, and it's just that video. I didn't know what the video was, right? There's some dude who straps a GoPro to his head, and his head's turning left and right as he drives his car. It's a German car, and he's listening to German music. And he takes out an AR, which is painted like there's some kind of aim point or something like some kind of red dot on the top of the rifle, and then in white paint there's a number 14 a couple of times. I don't know if it's supposed to be 1488 or what. And this guy supposedly just casually marches into a mosque and he starts shooting people. And I'm watching it on my phone. I didn't see the whole thing, but it looked fake. It just looked very fake. Like you can see the entire time. You can see the optic on the rifle, which, I mean, I've shot an AR before, and if you had a fucking GoPro strapped to your head, the way your cheek would be, you would not be seeing that optic. Like, do you understand? You're holding the AR up against your fucking collarbone, right? With your right hand on the pistol, your left hand on the stock, and your cheek mashed, like hard mashed into that buttstock, which means the camera is off to the fucking right by like 3 to 4, however tall your fucking forehead is, 2 inches, 3 inches. But the entire time of this video, the optic on the fucking AR on the rail is right in the camera shot the whole time. And I'm like, okay, so this guy's like shooting, like how's he shooting offhand? He doesn't even have the thing up against his chest. Like this, that looks to me like a very fake video, like a super fake video. I haven't really looked at it that close, and nobody gets wounded. Everybody gets shot and falls down and dies. Which and a number of times during the video, the guy pops out the magazine and he's like looking to make sure the magazine is full, like so you can see the rounds in it. And I'm like, but again, I'm looking at my phone. I don't know if they were fucking whatever. You know, he does a couple of mag changes for no reason. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? If anybody that's ever fired an AR platform rifle, again, because you're smashing your cheek into that buttstock, this through bone conductivity, you hear the rounds going, ba-gung, 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 ba-gung. And when the last one goes out, it goes ping. There's like not quite a pinging sound, but there's a different sound, right? When that last round goes out and the bolt locks back, it's a very distinctive sound. And why would this guy be doing it? Like nobody does, like it's a video. It looks very video gamey. Like it looks really video gamey. I'll put the link maybe in the next show to the video. And it's like, I'm like, that doesn't look real. It looks wrong, you know? And a 223 round is not, yeah, 2 or 3 rounds, you could drop somebody, but people are dropping 1 round. And I'm just not buying that video. The video looks fake to me. I could be wrong, but it was at the time, you know, it was considered again a super outrage, and they banned it. They banned it from all these different websites, but I think, you know, it was a fake ban. It was so you wouldn't look at it. So you wouldn't look at it close. You wouldn't look at it the way I looked at the Charlottesville Nazi guy photo or the Heilgate photo. Like you wouldn't stop it and go, hey, wait, this doesn't make sense. You know, nobody wants. They don't want you to scrutinize things. They don't want you to stop and think. And I'm suggesting to you, you should stop and think. But it's tough to do because, again, you know, everybody knows that this fucking nonstop swirl of fucking video and audio on these screens you're carrying around in your pocket or whatever, everywhere you go, and everybody's plugged into this shit 24/7. I am. I need my phone for work. I can't not have my phone on all the time. So if I'm not actually going somewhere, you know, what am I doing? I'm fucking around on the goddamn phone unless I can find somebody to talk to. But these viral videos, whether it's Richard Spencer and Heilgate, whether it's the Charlottesville guy, whether it's this New Zealand mosque massacre thing, if you stop and go, hey, wait a minute, what am I looking at? Does that make sense? Is that the way it works in the real world? Have I ever seen anything like that? Who behaves that way? Like, you're not allowed to ask any questions. Of course, you ask questions. The people are going to pop out in the chat or whatever, or everywhere, they're going to ostracize you. They're going to jump all over you, right? And they're super obviously feds. So anyway, that's my point. Richard Spencer is obviously a fucking fed. That whole fucking thing's a fucking setup. If you can't see that, you're emotionally incapable of fucking dealing with reality. And the other thing about that Heilgate fucking video, if you've ever seen TV people set up for something, they always go to one part of the room. They go to one part of the room, which is the best angle for the room, and that's where they fucking shoot from. Everybody, all the cameras go there. Whenever you see the media set up, even Trump's rallies, right? Trump's rally is a great example. Trump would do a rally and he'd go, there's CNN back there. And all the cameras would be there and everybody would go, CNN sucks, or whatever the fuck they would say. But all the media people stay in one place. But at the Heilgate video, again, you go in the search box up here and just type in Heilgate, Heilgate. Type in Heilgate. You'll get the Atlantic magazine video first. There's multiple angles all over the room. And camera people don't do that. Media people don't do that. They don't want to catch another cameraman in their shot, right? They want this shot a certain way, blah, 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 blah. Right? And the audio, by the way, and that shit is perfect. It's excellent audio. So that's a clue that the mics were set up 100% correctly, but why are there cameras in multiple different fucking locations? None of that makes sense if you understand how shit works, if you understand how media does stuff. If you've ever been around fucking media, they all shoot from one fucking angle, you know? And that video it's so fucking fake. You look back and it's so fucking fake. And 3.2 million people have viewed it, and none of those cocksuckers who were throwing up fucking Roman salutes have ever been identified. Not one of them. But Northern they found. And they found some 18-year-old kid that worked in a fucking sandwich shop in fucking California. And you're supposed to believe that. That's why I cannot fucking shit on this fucking hard enough. You know what I mean? You are being, it's attract the simps, corral the simps, and milk the simps, right? So that's done in a financial way. Like people do that, like on like those e-thoughts, those girls are like, oh, I'm a trad female. I like whatever. I want to wear a dress and cook for you and whatever. Live in a cabin in the woods, right? And everybody simps for that. Like, oh, don't be a simp. Don't be a simp. Well, that, dangling in front of you something that you think you want, right? They give you the fucking 21st century digital version of that. And it's fake as fuck. Put something in front of people, attract them, corral them, control what they see and what they think and what they say, and then milk them. For Richard Spencer and his fucking buddies at the FBI, it's about making fucking terrorism arrests and creating a nation of terrorists. But luckily, as a domestic, as a white supremacist, domestic super terrorist, I for one, like I said, I welcome Nicki Minaj. I welcome big boob rapper lady to the white supremacy movement. Because whenever she can dance, she's got rhythm and whatever. She's, like I said, she's very Second Amendment friendly. So, all right, it's 1 hour and 16. I'm deliberately going to cut this short because, like I said, the shorter it is, the more people watch, and that's because, like, who the fuck wants me to? Again, who wants to watch me get wasted for fucking 3 hours? Not that many people. Think about how you've been conned. I know you don't like to feel like you've been conned. You feel embarrassed. You feel like you're angry, and who do you have to fucking blame? You have to blame yourself, and you have to try to not to be conned in the future. But the way to avoid being conned in the future is understand you've been conned in the past and see what you've been conned by. You know what I mean? See that, and don't shy away from it. As much as it sucks, you've been fed a line of bullshit, and so you need to okay, all right. I understand that's all bullshit. None of those ideas, none of them are partially good ideas. They're all shit fucking ideas. Somebody spoon-fed that to you with the specific purpose of causing you to do things that are going to benefit them, right? Just like the trad girl, or the recovering thought, oh, I used to be a whore, but now I'm a good girl. Send me, money. Send me, put me on fucking OnlyFans or whatever the fuck it is, right? You can see through it. You can see it super easy in that regard, but you can't see it in whatever because you're unhappy with how fucking fucked up shit is. You think, oh, well, this guy has to be the way out. No. The way out is global homo ends because the US dollar ends as the world's reserve currency. That's how global homo ends. Everything that's going on is supported by the US dollar. Everything you don't like is supported by the US dollar. The faster that can be destroyed legally, without violence, peacefully, the faster this goes away. And what comes out on the other end, I don't fucking know. But anyone that tells you that they do know is full of shit, and you're being played. Anyway, so now I got to think of what I'm going to do, because what's his name? Donald Robinson has found this channel. Somebody gave him this fucking channel. Pisses me off. I don't know if I can perma block him or not. It says block for 5 minutes. I want him blocked fucking forever, you fucking dumb. I don't understand. No, it says blocked. All right, so he's blocked. But he's going to, sooner or later, this channel is going to disappear because, he'll report it for hate speech. You know how that goes. That's happened before, and it'll happen again. And all the stuff I did, whatever I said was funny or not funny, was insightful or not insightful, all goes down into the digital dustbin. But with that happy note, we move on. Let's real quick. Just want to take a quick look. What is the price of corn right now? 42.5. This China real estate thing, who knows what's going to happen? But if you have some dry powder, I suggest you buy Bitcoin. Sooner rather than later, because once the Ukraine plugs into that fucking nuclear fucking power plant, shit's gonna get rocking. Anyway, for everybody that showed up, Virgil, Doc, Purple Heart, Trad, Dad, any lurkers that have shown up, anybody that's going to show up in the future, I got to put the banner up. You got to remember to smash the like button because YouTube hates it, and I like the feedback. So just before you leave, boom, boom, boom. Eddie Hopkins. Oh, it's me, Niaz. Wait a minute. Niaz. Who's Niaz is which one is Niaz? The Texas guy. You're the Texas guy? Yeah, this channel is completely blown up. I gotta go. I gotta go. You're welcome. Virgil Doc. Take care, guys. I'm gonna play the crappy Greek disco music and let you guys out. Thanks for showing up. Eddie Hopkins says, just kidding. Right now, we're in the digital world. We don't know what's going on. Anyway, Eddie Hopkins, I don't think you're Niaz because Texas people aren't that smart. He's not capable of thinking as fast as you made that joke and unmade that joke. But you must be a lurker from the Polistan, whatever. But okay, yeah, like I said, shorter ones, shorter shows, higher views. I want to get this point across. Trade your Zog bucks for Bitcoin now while it's still favorable to you, and try to see past a lot of these setups. There's viral videos that get shot throughout the internet, whether it's Nicki Minaj and her cousin's swollen balls, or whether it's whatever the fuck it is, whether it's Richard Spencer's Heil Gate or any other thing. You got to understand you're constantly being worked 24/7, and it's very difficult to not react to that. And the first impressions are very difficult to overcome. So you want to think about what was my first impression when I saw that, and is that correct? The answer is probably no, or maybe correct, and you'll only be partially correct. But we're going to win. We're going to beat Erdogan. We're going to beat them all. We're going to destroy global homo. That is to say, Bitcoiners. You can join in a lot or little, whatever amount you're comfortable with, but you eventually will come around to our way of thinking because Zog bucks are going to be less valuable than toilet paper. very, very, very soon. Last week when I played that fucking clip of the Canadian, the neck tattoo, Prostradamus guy, World SOS. Where is it? Fucking. It's a fucking so. When you think about it, it's so fucking corny. It's so incredibly corny and stupid. This guy. Remember him?
World SOS. I just got out of jail again, third time in the last week. My 8th bail. Why? The vaccine passport is their ultimate priority, and we must stop it at any cost. Everybody that's been sitting on the sidelines, their friends, they want to help, they want to do something, showing up, taking a selfie, and buying a t-shirt ain't gonna cut it. Ladies and gentlemen, we need the big boys to get off the fence. I'm talking to you, Mr. BTCs and crypto holders. Who do you think's gonna be enemy number one after they get their vaccine passport and digital currency? The Bank of Canada's already.
All right, shut up, guy. Who's here? Dawei is here. Hey, Dawei, I just hid Donald Robertson, who calls himself Texas Feral Hog. Hopefully, if you're right, you called me a boomer last week. He's like blocked permanently. We'll see. We will see, Mr. Techno Millennial Genius. Now I got 5 fucking viewers. Now I don't want to quit. Prostradamus, the neck tattoo, vaccine passport guy who knows that the UN is behind all of this. Like, how does he know? Apparently, I don't know, steroids and deadlifting gives you some insight into global politics that I don't have. And I used to go to commercial gyms, and I used to see guys deadlift, and I knew, and certainly there were guys on steroids there. They didn't seem terribly bright to me, but Prostradamus he's Prostradamus. So, you better give me your Bitcoin because the Bank of Canada is going to hire crypto people. Listen, the government's going to hire crypto people and do what? They're going to make an instant fucking digital currency like this. They're so fucking far behind the curve. It's unreal. What government project has ever happened on time and without fucking bugs and flaws? What government project ever? None. Not the ECB has said they're at least 5 years away. The Federal Reserve, they have no fucking idea how they're going to do this. They have to blow up all the banks first. And Dawei in the chat. White man needs vax passports. Haitians can travel freely across multiple countries, breaking immigration laws and no vax. Yeah, of course. The whole point is to create, the fucking government super state. All the people I mentioned that video, the bearded guy. Do I have him on my phone? I don't know. I delete this shit. I probably post this stuff and then I fucking delete it. In 2 seconds. Where's the guy? Oh, this guy. This guy?
And take a vaccine that might cause.
That's not it. It doesn't fucking matter. Listen, you aren't going to stop this. You aren't going to stop the federal government from doing this stuff. Okay, they're going to do this, and it's there's nothing you can do to stop it. You have to sidestep it. Okay, you aren't going to be able to fight this. How you prepare for the big coming social changes when all these people are on welfare and they vote, and when Chuck Schumer, right, when he retires from the Senate, and he's going to retire feet fucking first, that cocksucker's not leaving there while he's still alive. When Chuck Schumer croaks and they put Andrea Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, when they make her the senator from New York, and she writes the fucking "I'm going to steal your house, Whitey" bill of 2026, and it goes through anyway, even though President DeSantis is staunchly against the violation of private property. When they fucking literally are done stealing and using government power to fucking take everything of value, if you don't have your wealth stored in a way that you can literally go across state borders or international borders real quick, you're going to be fucked. Now, maybe you can't do that right now, okay? But you can start to do that, and you can start to psychologically think, hey, maybe we have to abandon this. You know what I mean? And there's things you might do if it looks ever that bad, like we're gonna remove private property. It's only going to be the government and corporations. If you think that's going to happen, Well, you mortgage your fucking property as fast as you can, get as much cash as you can, turn it into fucking Bitcoin, and let them take your fucking property. You know what I mean? Let them take your house or your land or whatever. Because you financialize it, you collateralize it, you put it on the Bitcoin, which they can't seize, which you could literally put, again, on something this fucking big. One of these things could hold 10, 20, 30 million dollars, 50 or 100 million dollars, like a ridiculous. You don't know how much Bitcoin you can put on that fucking thing. You can mail it out to someone, you can fucking hide it in 1,000 places. You know what I mean? Do you not comprehend that this is something they can't seize? This is the separation of state and money. That money will no longer be tied to the state or the government. Can you not comprehend? Is your mind too fucking small? Is your IQ too low to grasp that fucking concept? It is. But I can't help you. There's nothing I can do. You have to stretch your fucking brain or suffer the consequences, That way, if an illegal immigrant is found in a dumpster, would they be able to investigate? Eventually, no. Like one of the things, I didn't put this up, but the Biden administration in the infrastructure bill, there's going to be like some kind of reporting requirement. If you have more than $600 in your checking or savings account, you have to report that to the federal government. And any transactions over $600, you have to report to the federal government. So this is like social credit scores. What are you buying? What are you allowed to buy? All this shit. Now, are they going to get this through? Probably will. But like, think of everybody that gets paid every week or every 2 weeks. Every corporation, however many, think of Amazon, how many people work for Amazon who make more than $600 a week. Every week, Amazon's going to have to fucking report that. Who the fuck is going to read all those fucking reports? Who's going to read them? Like, you don't have enough. They have this fantastic intelligence network of intel coming in. You don't have enough people to process it. Who do you go after? Like they don't. They haven't thought it through. They really haven't thought it through. They don't have enough people to scour through all that intel, all that data, whatever you want to call it, to even identify anyone. It will overwhelm their system. Will they get it through? Sure. Will they be able to use it? Fuck no. Will Haitians kill each other? Of course they will. Black people love killing other black people. It's their favorite fucking sport. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Black people will kill for over perceived disrespect. If they perceive, either legitimately or not so legitimately, that you have disrespected them or whatever, they will kill you if they have the opportunity. If they don't have the opportunity, they won't do it. But if they have the opportunity, they most certainly will. All the data that they generate, they can't process it all. Who's going to make all the decisions? Who's going to go out and do who's going to do anything about it? You know what I mean? The best thing that they can do is shut you off financially, right? There's where's the meme? It's all about the meme. Wait a minute, I got to go back. Oh, I got rid of all that shit. Fuck. Problem is, yeah. Well. We'll just throw this one up. We'll just throw this one up anyway. Because it's cute. They will not be able to investigate everyone they need to investigate. They just won't. This is what they're doing. This is going to be trying to pull one drop of water out of the entire ocean. You're not going to be able to do that. The amount of data that they're going to have will be overwhelming. Even when they use software filters, they're not going to be able to get down to the granular level that they need to get to, because The more something is forbidden, the more people want to see it, right? Forbidden fruit, always the sweetest. So somebody has something to say, a point of view that the government wants suppressed. As soon as they start suppressing it, they literally make it insanely popular. I don't know how much Nicki Minaj, how many more followers she got on Instagram since the White House has, mentioned that she's, they're interested in sharing their view with her or talking with her. Like literally some crazy black girl who's got insane body modifications and who made a career in rap without getting shot, just got elevated to a national political figure or an international political figure because the COVID thing is an international thing. There's no way they can predict this. There's no way they can control this. And to me, it's hilarious. And like I said at the beginning of the show, you weren't here that way, but we're only in the first 9 months of the Biden administration. There's another 3+ years to go. 3 years from now, they're like, think it through. You will not be able to fucking understand what the world looks like. That way in the chat, can you convert cash into BTC without a bank? Yeah, there are Bitcoin ATMs. There are Bitcoin meetups. You can just type like into Google or maybe DuckDuckGo rather than Google. But Bitcoin meetup, you can go meet somebody who has Bitcoin on their phone, and you can buy it from them, and they put it on your phone. You know what I mean? You sit there across a coffee table. You say, I want $500 worth of Bitcoin. The guy goes, okay, give me $510. And you put $510 in cash in front of him, and he clicks a few buttons on his phone. And as long as you have a Bitcoin wallet with the receiving address, in 10 minutes, your phone or less, your phone goes ding, and you have $500 worth of Bitcoin. But this whole idea, and Michael Saylor is right about this whole idea of like a covert thing, what you need to do is buy Bitcoin and put it on a cold storage device. Don't leave it on an exchange, whether it's something like this. This is, I've shown these before. This is a Bitcoin bearer instrument. There's a USB drive that holds Bitcoin. You could put 100, 1,000, whatever, how much you want on it. And it's essentially the same as cash. And, all you need to do to check how much Bitcoin is on is by plugging it into anything that's USB. And you can see how much money is on there. These things are called, I'll show you. There's a world of this out there. They're called open dimes, right? They sell these things. They sell other cold storage devices. There's ledgers. There's a bunch of different things. Take your time. Go slow. Be thoughtful, right? Be thoughtful and think about what's going to work best for you with your circumstances. Part of the problem with any of this stuff is I sit here in front of a fucking camera, right? And I'm like talking to who? 20, 30, 50 people, whatever, however many people. There's no way that I can understand what everyone's circumstance is and what's the perfect solution for your circumstance. There's no way I can fucking know that. Are you married, unmarried, own property, have kids, elderly parents? Do you live in this part of the world or that part of the world? This part of America or that part of America? I have no fucking idea, right? So anything I say has to be so generic that it sort of kind of pushes everybody in one direction or fits everybody poorly. What I'm hoping to do is put ideas in front of you that you can say, all right, well, how can I make this work for me? How can I customize this and modify this for me? You know what I mean? Overall, do you think I would argue you'd have to agree that the Federal Reserve Corporation is evil and insane and will drive the US dollar to near zero, okay? The stimulus, the infrastructure bill, the endless welfare for the Afghan migrants, for the Haitians, for the Mexicans, whatever, is going to drive the value of the US dollar down and everything that is not the US dollar higher. So that means stocks, that means hamburger, that means gasoline, that means everything under the sun until the system breaks. When will that be? I don't fucking know. I don't know. But this trajectory is guaranteed. Sooner or later, it's going to fall. They can pump it up as much as they want to pump it up. by printing, and they're not actually printing physical bills. It's digital money, I know. But it's sooner or later it collapses. Sooner or later, people say, I don't want the US dollar anymore. Whether that's El Salvador, you go, oh, that's a tiny country. And you go, what about the Ukraine? Well, that's a small country. Well, what about Laos? That's a tiny country. Yeah, just this tiny country, just that 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 tiny countries. Pretty soon, some big nation state's going to go, we're making this move. And then things are going to change a lot. So you need to start thinking 21st century, not 1930s. That's you. The people who want you to think that way are the same people that want to throw you in prison for wrongthink. Okay, they want to throw you in, in. And again, like I've said this before, you're not going to a gulag with fucking Václav Havel and fucking Viktor Orban and Alexander Solzhenitsyn. You're not. That's not what you're doing. That's not where you're going. Right? That may be your fantasy because you're a fucking retarded romantic jerk off, but you're going into state fucking prison with Pooh Shiesty and Dead Arm Row, and you're not gonna fucking like that at all. You know what I mean? And a lot of you dudes, you're gonna be wearing lipstick before you get out of the fucking county. Before you get out of the county jail and do your real fucking sentence, you're gonna be wearing fucking lipstick. No lie. And you don't understand that world. It's fucking rules, and you are beyond the deer in the fucking headlights. So what I suggest to you is be 100% legal, because Bitcoin is 100% legal in every way, shape, and form. You can buy it, you can own it yourself, you can custody it yourself, which I suggest you do. That is 100% completely legal. Okay, and it is a type of digital property, as far as the IRS is concerned, that is extremely difficult for them to confiscate, and almost really impossible. So that's where I suggest you put your wealth, or don't. You can believe that, I don't know, something else is going to happen. I'd be interested to know what you think is going to happen. But your ideas probably suck. Heard the petrodollar is out. Biden pulled out of Afghan Iraq to let China move in. The lithium dollar will be the new world reserve currency. Well, electro money has been around since Henry Ford, or has been an idea since Henry Ford. It only just started with Bitcoin. The petrodollar out. Oil is still the lifeblood of nations. You have to understand that most of the, not only the farm machines that do the farming run on oil, but the, what do you call it? Fertilizers are what's left over after oil is processed. You know what I mean? All the potassium and nitrates and shit like that they spread on the farmland comes from oil. So I wouldn't say it's dead, but they're probably transitioning. But it's still the dollar. It's still based on the U.S. dollar, and the people that control the dollar are the Federal Reserve Corporation of America, which is not federal, has no reserves. It is made up of the 6 top money center banks in 1913, the Rockefeller family, a bunch of others, and is primarily controlled by the Rothschilds. Because Jacob Schiff is blood related to the Rothschilds, and he was involved in the creation of the Federal Reserve. So it's the Rothschilds. So you want to take on global homo? Do you really want to take on global homo? Here's how you do it: ditch your Zog bucks and get something that they can't confiscate and they cannot devalue. And this is going to be the basis for an entirely new world that nobody can really see right now. But that's what I think. That's not financial advice. It's whatever. Right-wing worldview, a real right-wing worldview, But your alternative is to go, believe that there's Washington, D.C. is full of Nazis, and that Charlottesville is full of Nazis, and that Nicki Minaj is a Nazi, or whatever. You know what I mean? You want to stay stuck in the 1930s fucking thing? Good luck, you fucking stupid loser. Sooner or later, your dumb dream world is going to be fucking pierced, and no one's going to have sympathy for you. You're going to have to work 10 times as hard to fucking catch up. All right. I said I was going to end this 30 minutes ago, and I'm still here. Am I going to stay in America? I don't know. I would like to. Let's see what part of America stays America. You know, the other thing I want to say, like a half an hour ago, the Supreme Court. This is going to be interesting. With all the Supreme Court is going to hear a Second Amendment case in November. Everybody knows I'm a big 2A guy, but there's a court case from New York. I can't remember the name of it, but it challenges the so-called special needs clause, right? Yeah, there is nowhere to go because where are you going to go? Right? You got to stay here and fight. How are you going to fight? It's going to look very different than you think it does. The special needs clause, right, for New York State, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Massachusetts, etc., or what are called shall issue states. That means if you want to carry a concealed handgun, the state may issue. They're called may issue states, not shall issue states. They're called may issue states. The state may issue you a permit or may not. And the argument is this violates the Second Amendment, blah, 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 and a right denied is et cetera, et cetera. So finally, the Supreme Court is going to hear this case, which is a New York-based case, challenging the so-called special needs, right? In the state of New York, you say, or in New York City, you say, well, I want a concealed handgun license. And they say, you can't have it because you don't have a special need. Self-defense and everything else in the Second Amendment is not considered a special need, whatever. So this challenges that directly. And the Supreme Court is going to hear a case directly involving that on, hilariously, November 3rd of this year. So the day before you would go vote, they're probably going to make their ruling, or the day that you would vote, they're going to make that ruling. Depending on how they rule, this could change a lot of shit for a lot of different states. It could force every state in the United States to become what's called a shall issue state, not a may issue state. What does that mean culturally? That means a lot of people get to carry guns that probably shouldn't be carrying guns, but whatever, it's going to cause a burst of activity that's going to, if it goes towards the constitutional interpretation, strict interpretation of the Constitution, it's going to cause a lot of high-profile cases that are going to be in the news all the time. If it goes the other way, then you're going to have all sorts of fucking behaviors. I don't know. Super interesting. The reason why it's super interesting, the Biden administration had a guy who was part of the Waco, Texas thing way back in the day, Claude Atkins is his name. They were pushing him as the head of the ATF, and they've just withdrawn him. I don't know why they couldn't get him through, but they decided to withdraw him, because I think the White House thinks that this Second Amendment thing is going to go against them. And this will create a whole new fucking dynamic in terms of 2A, black people, self-defense, all kinds of fucking things. There's, like I said, we're only 9 months into this fucking thing. There's at least another 3 fucking years to go. At least another 3 fucking years to go. And if you think it's crazy now, man, it's only on level 2. This thing goes to 11. You know what I mean? It goes to 11. That's what you need to understand. It goes to 11. You can't just make 10 louder because this goes to 11. 3 more years. I'm suggesting that you prepare now for things that seem impossible. Like at the edge of reason today, 3 years from now are going to seem common in every day. That's my worldview. And so the better you prep for it now, the better you can prep your family, whatever now. And I don't mean to have 6 months of food or whatever, but understand how radically things are going to change, how much more socialist or whatever things are going to be, how much more confiscatory government's going to be. And as they seek ever greater sources of wealth, you want something that they can't seize. That's my point. And you want something that is not denominated in US dollars. Anyway, here we go. Almost I'm looking at, for me, I see a little thing that shows my time, which up here is 1 hour 47. Too long. This is the best place to go. We start here, we fight here, we win here. Because once their money is worthless, they have no power. All right, so enough of this fucking bullshit. It's what is it? It's almost midnight here anyway. Thanks a lot, everybody, for showing up. This, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but if you got to try and find me on Twitter. What's my fucking Twitter? Let me show you because Donald Robinson has this channel, and he's probably going to report me for hate speech. So you can follow me on Twitter at my Twitter. Where's my Twitter? Can you see that? STFU-James M. How original, huh? STFU space James M. Try to find me on Twitter because I usually send out DMs for these streams. So find me there because Donald Robbins is going to blow this fucking channel up, and I'm going to have to go to my next channel, which will last for this amount of time until some scumbag tells Donald Robinson where it is. And then we go to the next channel. Anyway. All right, guys, good night. Thank you for showing up. Start thinking differently about what the future looks like and what you can do about it. Because what you can do about it is participate in something new and different. Like Henry Ford proposed, like Satoshi Nakamoto created, and like a bunch of us are doing on the daily. Anyway, Greek disco music coming up. Thanks for showing up. See you guys next week.